was in love with you before I knew it meant more than just wanting to be with you. Used to look for other girls that looked like you, but the laws of nature said forget a son. Least that's what somebody told me. I worried about it a little bit, but that's all. Now I dreamt that you were Joan of Arc and I was Don Quixote, and everywhere we went the world was tinfoil. But I gave up dreaming and became a priest to put it right out of my system. I worried about it a little bit, but that's all. Now you used to play the guitar, we worked in a country band, and I hung out down on the riverbank on Sunday. Your brother was my closest friend, he drove a pickup truck. He used to bring me home sometimes from high school. Now I was 15, oh, the very first time love broke completely inside me. We were young and we were learning about it together, and we had enough of what we thought we'd needed, those well-known secret fables. We worried about it a little bit, but that's all. I regret my life, I won't be long enough to make love to all the women that I'd like to, or least of all to live with the ones I've loved. And I've never regretted a love affair except one, and that's all over. I worried about it a little bit, but that's all. Now you used to play the guitar, we worked in a country band, I hung out down on the riverbank on Sunday. Your brother was my closest friend, he drove a pickup truck. He used to bring me home sometimes from high school. Now I heard you lived away up north, your kids are fighting plenty, and I haven't seen your brother since away last Easter. And if every other girl in the whole wide world is just a little bit more like you, I'd worry about it a little bit, but that's all. Now you used to play the guitar in a country band, I hung out down on the riverbank on Sunday. Your brother was my closest friend, he drove a pickup truck. He used to bring me home sometimes from high school.
some of the typical music of John Hartford. I have another machine for you here, John, a close friend. You know, the last time you were here, we talked a little bit about this most unusual instrument. This is, as I recall, is a special capo for that extra string, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Is it an unusual banjo in any sense of the word, other than it has 5 strings?
Well, this particular banjo is an original what they call a Gibson top tension, top crank banjo, and it's valuable to me.
It's I understand that. I know that you had a few scary moments here when you came into town when it wasn't on the same flight you were.
Yeah, well.
What is the difference essentially in when you use you select the instrument according to the mood of the music you're doing?
That's hard to say. I guess a lot of it is what instrument I make the melody up on, because a lot of times a lot of the melodies I make up on instruments. And then it switches around. Like I get picking, I'll try something on another instrument. I don't know. It just
The guitar seems to have a more mellow kind of gentle kind of sound.
Yeah, actually, I've been using 2 different kinds of banjos. I had a dream about 3 or 4 months ago that I dreamt that I went out to a music store and bought a lot of really low, heavy strings and tuned the banjo down low so that it would sound like a regular banjo does when you have it on a record, and when it's slowed down,
yeah,
you know, to where it's real low and tubby, because most banjos are up about there. And I went out and did it, and it worked, and I've been using it now for about 3 months, and I love it.
I like the cover especially of your new album, and certainly what's inside. As a matter of fact, that last tune you did is inside this album.
Yes, it is.
The album called Aeroplane.
Aeroplane.
That's
the band. Can I tear this off?
Sure, why not?
That's the band on the back. Yeah, I want to see them.
Tear the label, yeah. This is the group that works with you and will be working with you tomorrow night, as a matter of fact, Sunday at the St. Paul Auditorium Civic Section Theater.
That's Tut Taylor, and that's me, and that's Vassar Clements, who's just got to be the greatest blues fiddler that I've ever heard. And that's Norman Blake, and who plays guitar on a lot of. He played guitar on a lot of Bob Dylan albums, the Nashville Skyline Rag and that stuff.
Is it as you become your own boss, so to speak, working for yourself, putting your own group together, does it give you kind of a satisfaction you haven't had working, for instance, with Glenn Campbell and others?
Yeah.
How do you select the guys that are going to fill in behind you?
Well, that's not always it was not always up to me, you know. But actually, Norman had worked around Nashville and been like a really big name guitar player down there in the studios, and I never thought that he would ever want to work with me. And we were hanging out last Christmas, as a matter of fact, playing, and we were just really getting off together. And he said, "We ought to be doing this on the road." And I said, "Oh, you know." And I said, "Well, you want to go to work?" And he said, "Well, I thought you'd never ask." You know. And he said he used to lose a lot of gigs that way because his reputation exceeded his price.
You know, the last time you were here, I asked you to do Gentle on My Mind, and you said, I'd rather not do that. And yet, as you do a lot of concerts, I'm sure that the numbers you have done over and over and over again are the ones that are asked for over and over again. Do you find a compromise anywhere?
Sometimes I tend to be a little selfish. I don't I sometimes try to get away without singing Gentle on My Mind. I have to admit that. And either that or I'll open with it so that I don't have to mess with it for the rest of the night.
Is it only because you've done it so often that it's kind of stale, or are you not as proud of it as
No,
you
I'm sure I'm proud of it, but I've done it a lot, and it's been hard. It's been hard because of that song to get anybody to listen to any of my other music.
Strange, but that often is true when you have great success.
So I figured it'd just be stubborn.
What in your mind is the best tune you ever did?
I don't know.
You don't have a thought on that?
I like some of the new ones pretty well.
I'm sure tomorrow night we're going to be hearing a lot of the new ones, right?
Sure will.
Most of this album, and certainly a great deal more with
I'll probably sing Gentle on My Mind.
Great, okay. We won't keep that away from the folks. What are you going to do for us now?
Do this one here. didn't go very fast on a steam-powered airplane. The wheel went around up and down and side and then back again. Sitting in the 747 just watching them clouds roll by. Can't tell if it's sunshine or if it's rain. I'd rather be sitting in a deck chair high up over Kansas City on a genuine old-fashioned authentic steam-powered airplane. Well, I dreamt I was a pilot on a steam-powered airplane. That pilot went back again and wear a blue hat, yeah. It said steam-powered airplane. Letters go around the rim and then back again. Sitting in a 747 just watching them clouds roll by. Can't tell if the sunshine